Name's Jake Reby, and I am now a senior counsel with Lewis Rice, which is a large law firm headquartered in St. Louis. When I was on the board of Lewis Rice, I was head of our commercial real estate department, which was the largest law firm real estate group in Missouri. And that's what I did for many, many years. Well, originally, as part of my real estate group, I had Abigail Lampert come in and talk to our group about conservation easements, and I found that pretty interesting. And Abigail, who was at that time, and I'm going back from 2008, which was when I was first recruited to join the board. And I was on the board from 2008 to 2017. So I was on the board basically nine years. And Abigail, uh, who was the sole employee, and I think she was even a part-time employee at that time, but she worked full-time. She had recruited me to join the board, and the reason why is because I was pretty well known in commercial real estate in the country, and I had a lot of contacts and knew more than most about land trusts. And she thought that would be a good idea to bring my whatever little expertise I had to the party. And also at that time, Ted Heisel became executive director. Ted was a Harvard educated lawyer, loved land, and was a farmer in Missouri, grew up on a farm. And so he was going to be the full time executive director, and I was going to be, I guess, lawyer number two as a volunteer. And they had basically wanted me to try to bring some better organization to ORLT. I was a business guy, and I didn't know that much about the environment. I cared, but I didn't know that much. And they wanted me to bring more business acumen to the organization. I generally loved it, but I didn't do that much. I mean, my idea of nature was, playing 18 holes of golf. But when I was a kid, of course, I went to summer camp. I did hikes and uh, slept in outdoors. When I was in the Army, uh, unfortunately, I had to sleep outdoors in a foxhole from time to time. But I always really enjoyed nature. I just didn't do it in the same way that a land trust would do. And uh, things like I would take float trips down the Merrimack River, the Who's Out, the Cutaway, and it's all very very nice and wonderful. But again, just to enjoy it as opposed to enjoy it for a day, as opposed to really caring about it in the same way that the other seven conservationists who are on our board truly, genuinely cared way more than I did because I was just ignorant and didn't know better. But once I did figure out that nature was really a good thing and the mission was a great thing, then I got, of course, much more knowledgeable and cared more, and then tried to bring uh, more organization to the organization, and that's basically what I did for the organization. When I left, uh, I think OLT was a very well managed organization, and as good as we were then, I think it's better managed now, from what I can tell, and my friends who are still on the board and who I talk to. I think it's a very well run organization. I think Larry has done a fabulous job as executive director. It's hard. It's hard work, and you got to stay on top of it. And I'm thrilled that they've he's done such a good job. He and everybody. It isn't a one man show. It's multiple people doing things. I think it's a very well run organization, and I hope it continues to be so. Well, I'm a pretty intellectually curious guy. So to me, it was very interesting to learn all about conservation easements. And as I told you, like Ted Heisel would do these major write ups, which I'd never seen a write up before. I didn't even know such a thing existed. But uh, I learned an awful lot about that. And because of my law practice, I'm a fellow of the American College of Real Estate Lawyers and a fellow of the American College of Mortgage Attorneys. So I go to all these national meetings, and uh, very few lawyers are on land trust boards. So well, as a lawyer, we know about a conservation easement, but from when a client comes to me and says, I want to do a conservation easement, but because I knew so much about what it takes to accept a conservation easement, I could tell my clients or other people's clients, well, and explain to them what is involved and why it's not just so easy. Just it isn't just a tax deal. This is in perpetuity, and this is why we're asking for these things. It's not to make your life miserable or that we don't appreciate what you're doing. It's just it has to work for everybody, or it doesn't work for anybody. I was able to bring that to other professionals. I was asked to talk at conferences and whatnot, and present those kinds of things, both at law conferences as well as uh, family office conferences where people are, trying to help their clients do the right thing and give property away, but they don't really understand what all is involved. And I thought that was a lot of fun for me. Well, I mean, there were people like Andy Thomas who were just amazing. Ted Heisel was amazing. We brought an accountant, Steve Schubert, on the board. Like me, he didn't know anything about land trust, but we never had an accountant before. So it was nice to have an accountant that could actually do the books and make sure the money was properly spent, and do audits and that kind of thing. I mean, there were just so many people. Abigail Lampert, amazing. Yeah, I mean, all the board members and the past presidents. I mean, it was a lot of work for a lot of people, and I don't think there wasn't a person that didn't do an unbelievable job of being a dedicated board member when I was involved. Everybody, and a lot of them are still on the board, which is really a great tribute to the organization and how much people truly care about it. I mean, everybody loved it. There was nobody who was on that board that didn't love it. So, which is really nice, which is a good thing. Not all boards can sort of say that. Sometimes it's more a job than a passion. This was a passion, and just when I was there, I just need a little organization to go along with the passion.